managing expectations.
Right.
Or expectations management, that is something that all Kenyans must do. And we have said times above number that all Kenyans, and indeed the entire world, should have been prepared for two outcomes. That you can have a Raila Odinga presidency, or you can have a William Ruto presidency.
Right.
So that if a William Ruto has been declared as the president-elect, that must not give you a running stomach. You shouldn't start sweating and wondering where is your future going to be. And also the same thing for Raila Odinga. Because a number of people, and Professor knows a number of them, from the time William Ruto was declared president-elect, they've been on alcoholic beverages since then, trying to manage the expectations. But they must be told that when a leader has been elected by the popular will of the people, you must not suffer as a result. Just realign your priorities and you will be able to swim for the next 10 years. Unfortunately, the situation obtaining in Kenya, the majority of people have invested a lot of emotions in the political process, a lot of financial resources in the political process, so that when their candidate of choice is not declared president-elect, they start running all over town, as if the world is coming to an end, and then they start clutching on straws. Because, for instance, when you talk about the Form 34As, that's where the presidential elections are held. Any presidential candidate going to this election was alive to that fact. That is number one. Then these are the same images. They took images at the polling stations and sent them to the portal. The agents from Mosocho, from Mandera, went to the tallying station and verified that these are the forms, these are our signatures. No fraud has been introduced in the process. Now, you must be ready to accept the will of Mora. If Mora is so determined that the next president for the next 5 years is going to be Mr. William Ruto, you must not have a running timing. If the Supreme Court says that if they do an audit of the process and they make a determination which is otherwise, also William Ruto supporters must not have a running stomach. So we must accept that we are in a democracy and the will of Mora must prevail. And additionally, the international observers and diplomats, ambassadors and high commissioners, very strange that they were working in shifts at Bomas of Kenya. It's as if they were on a full-time assignment, that they ensured that a group is represented. We've had conversations with a number of them and have in fact said that even the West, including America, found this transparency something which is amazing, something that they may want to learn from Kenya. So the way professors indicated that it may be too early to find out how the cake is going to be made.
Right.
But you know, if you're making a cake and you bring ile unga ya kupika ugali, then we can start smelling a rush that this is not going to be a nice cake, it's actually going to be ugali. So from the issues raised so far, one struggles to see the merit, but again, one hopes that they're playing a certain card, that whatever they're telling us, like for instance, when Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka says that in fact there was no general election. Now, if that is the pillar of the argument, then one can start wondering whether or not they're serious. But I'm really hoping that they have a very serious case, because at the end of the day, Mura's will must be reflected.
You know, interestingly enough, the Azimio team seems to be holding their cards very close to their chest to this point, but they have appeared quite confident that whatever evidence they've garnered and put together will be quite massive when it comes to this petition in court. So that will be interesting to see. We're going to come back and discuss this issue a little bit more into